We always want more, and that's not a bad thing. The thing is that it all comes at a cost. Nowadays, we are addicted to speed. We can always get things faster. 2-day delivery, can get next day delivery. Hear me out. I'm not saying that you shouldn't get those things. I enjoy my next day delivery just as much as the next person. But the reality is that we want things to get faster and faster and faster, and sometimes we cannot move at the same speed. And at our fingertips, at our phones, we can do so much. We can consume and scroll endlessly through TikTok videos, through Instagram, on YouTube, whatever platform there is. You can always watch something else. You can always try to learn more about something. But what if instead of trying to learn more, instead of trying to achieve more, we actually try to do the exact opposite? What if we try to slow down a little bit? Sometimes, even though we want to learn more, learn faster, and do things, it can actually harm us. And I'm gonna use myself as an example. I always wanted to study more and learn more, be better, this and that. I was always watching the next guru saying whatever I needed to achieve next and paying thousands of dollars on courses that I knew somehow that I didn't need it, but all of the urgency, all of those things trying to sell me to be a better person, it just got me stuck in a loop of not really acting or doing anything about it. It was always about this mental masturbation of doing more, trying to achieve more, but not really leaving the place that I was. Things only changed when I was able to take a step back, take a deep breath, and say, I'm actually gonna do things now instead of learning forever. And a lot of times this comes not because only we want to do better and everything, but we are so addicted to distraction, and myself included. The only reason I am a social media manager and social media strategist today is that because I was consuming so much content that I couldn't do it anymore. And then I decided to turn that into some sort of profit. But I was able to stay in this path for a little bit longer than most people and actually see the other side of it, see the income and see the profit coming from it, but as a career instead. But we're so addicted to speed, we're so addicted to distraction, we're so addicted to things coming to us so fast that when that result that we are looking for doesn't come to us as fast as we predicted, as fast as we wanted to happen, we then get really mean to ourselves and we start saying all of these things. You are lazy, you are not working hard enough, you are not studying hard enough. And you look, there is a place for study and there is a place for learning things fast and there is a place for, sprinting every now and again. But life happens in the pace of nature. Things actually need to run its course. So one of the things that helped me get out of this trap was to actually go on walks. And it's not everyone that has the privilege to go on nature walks, but I had the privilege to go on nature walks, and the sense of belonging when you go on a walk on nature, it is just amazing. Because when you go around and you start walking and you start slowing down and you're not really wearing your headphones and you're just taking everything that is surrounding you, you start to feel an incredible sense of how small we are. But in the same time, we kind of have this feeling of belonging, this feeling that we are part of all of this as we hear the birds, as we hear the stream, as we hear the trees swishing back and forth, and we hear the sound of the wind, the water, and all of these things. Sometimes when you go to that, it's just a quick reminder that we can do things, we can step up, we can speed up, but it's also very important to slow down. And I'm not saying don't be busy, and I'm not saying don't be productive. I'm just saying, what if we took this time to slow down? What if we took this time to sit down in nature and just hear what's on our surrounding and just take in that amazing air that nature provides us and that feeling that we matter? Because nothing says matter more than going to nature and having that incredible feeling. I don't know what it is. I cannot pin what it is, but whenever I go to nature, or I go camping, or I just go on long walks with my girlfriend, we just have this sense that we are embraced by our surroundings, and there's nothing more powerful than that. It is just the feeling that we need to slow down in order to see the next path ahead, the next step ahead. Everything happens so fast if you don't stop enough times, you might miss it. I think that's actually a phrase from Ferris Bueller's Days Off, but it makes so much sense, right? Distraction isn't free. Everything comes at a cost. A lot of the time when you're mindlessly scrolling, and I'm not saying this to shame you because I still do it, you are giving your brain away, you're giving your mental clarity away for some quick gratification, which, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with it. But the more we do it, the less we are able to focus on things for the long run. And the reason I'm saying this is also a reminder for myself. This morning, for example, I spent 45 minutes at least in my bed just scrolling because I couldn't get out of bed. The first thing I did, I took my phone and I started scrolling. And I spent 45 minutes that I could have spent doing something else, spending time with my girlfriend, or literally just resting my brain. But no, I decided to get distracted. Everything comes at a cost. And just to finish up, slowing down doesn't mean that you are lazy. Slowing down doesn't mean that you don't want to do things. Slowing down just means that you're gonna take your time to do things right, to actually learn the lessons, because sometimes you fail and you keep failing on the same mistake over and over and over again because you just didn't take enough time to learn the lesson. So slowing down is the way of nature. Slowing down is the way to move forward. Like I said, sometimes it's good to sprint and run a little bit faster, but once we slow down and we take a look at ourselves and we take a look inside, we can actually see what the matter at hand is. And a lot of the times we're getting distracted because we're trying to avoid ourselves. My urge here is, don't avoid yourself. Have the conversation that you've been avoiding. Go write on pen and paper and see what you're being avoiding talking to yourself to. Sometimes, and actually a lot of times, when you're spending that time alone or with somebody else without trying to get distracted, that's when you're going to be able to answer your most important questions in life, and when you're gonna feel like you belong the most. This is just an invitation to slow down and take things slow, because it is really worth it. Thank you so much for giving me your time. Subscribe if you want to, but if you don't, I'll see you in the next video. Much love.